What Arcane Odyssey is going through is a complete shit show. A game that's halted through development, where majority of players have already played everything through it. And the only thing that ever keeps a game into relevancy is a shitty fucking concept that basically rewards players for shitty behaviors. This game is perfect in every single way. The story is impeccable. The gameplay is unique, the builds are magnificent, and the community... Once you have acquired enough, once you've made that perfect build, once you've played through the entire story, you're most likely introduced to a concept. This concept is labeled as bounty hunting, and is what people do to... let's say, keep the game sort of alive. It's a story-based game. You can only play through it so much. Around 10 hours worth of gameplay. Then if you like it, you have unique builds you can play, which allows you to play through the game again. Very good game design right there. Where a player has to play through the story again, which gets them more introduced to the characters and the lore. And if the player wants more, they can pay for more, which is also clever design because it's not pay to win. It's a Game Pass, but it's not pay-to-win Game Pass. But that's sort of as far as the game could ever possibly go. The game's design and combat mechanics allow players to also attack and kill other players. I'm not going to bring up hunting yet. I'm talking about fairly balanced player versus player matches, which is what attracts majority of the players. It is fun, it is exciting, and it is entertaining. Getting to create your very own character with their unique personality and their own unique abilities to take down said foes. Alright, sure, you can fight other players. They can righteously consent, can they? No, they cannot. They cannot righteously consent. This is the cause that toxicifies the entire community. It allows you to manually hunt down unique NPCs with their unique personalities. Sure, entertaining, but you can also hunt down other players. And consenting or not, these players are forced to accept. It sounds entertaining to be able to bounty hunt other players, and it is... but it's like communism. It sounds good on paper to be able to hunt down and molest other players whenever you feel like it, but in paper or in actuality, it's not going to help anything. Problem about Arcane Odyssey, it has rules against nasty PvP-based behaviors, but it also rewards this nasty PvP behaviors. When pro players get bored enough, they start joining clans. They have an option to leave players alone, but they also have the option to farm other players for their bounty. And unfortunately, these players who farm for bounty, they get rewarded for this bounty. They get a title. They get shown to the entire server how cool they are, and they become most wanted in every bounty board, which allows other players to, of course, stalk them, dox them, and do whatever they want in order to actually steal their glimblies. Okay, the game's PvP-based. It's part of game design, but Renown is bad game design. This player right over here has over 300 player kills. All these players butt-fucked. All these players hard work taken slightly downwards because this player took 15, 25%, 10% of their renown. I mean, you put in all that effort, you put in all that work, you kill all those innocent players, you commit all those in-game crimes, you commit all that nasty toxicity. And for what? For some player to come along and miraculously inflate the number, completely annihilating this competition. And then it gets reset the next update. Put down to 100,000, 200,000. You have to play the entire game again. And this is supposedly what's keeping the game alive. Why do players do this? Do they do it because PvP is fun? No, they want the title. They want the title. So they have this system which lets players butt-fuck other players. And that butt-fucking behavior gets rewarded. And it makes you more likely to be butt-fucked yourself. I don't think I worded this well enough. Another thing is, the game wants you to focus and pay more attention to the more PvE-based concepts of this game. They don't care about PvP. They don't want there to be PvP. They don't want this behavior to go on every time you join a server in Arcane Odyssey. So essentially, Arcane Odyssey has a nasty system that forces players to fight each other, and all that fighting is completely futile because eventually at the end of the day, everything just gets reset. So this concept that keeps the game alive is just for nothing. It's futile. My belief to the solution in regards to Renown and toxicity in the community stems from the fact that the main game is entirely PvP driven, while the video game designer wants it to be PvE driven. So what we do to fix this is we completely fix the Renown function. A complete Renown overhaul. From now on, players cannot take each other's Renown away from each other, and instead, players gain Renown from completing or doing PvE-based map concepts. Oh no! Whoopsie-doo! An Atlantean convoy all of a sudden sailed out of the Dark Sea into the War Seas. A common misconception that constantly happens in Arcane Odyssey, or a thought that would have gone around, that a couple of Atlantean sailors may have gotten themselves out of the Dark Sea and are heading straight towards Port Minstrel. It's not. It's an actual port town this time, not attacked by Vikings. Oh, and they're gonna wreak havoc on here, and only you players can stop it. Whoop-de-doo, my side is being attacked by a certain randomly generated boss, and all players, good and bad, have to bangs together to take down this threat once and for all, like Helldivers and Fallout 76. And it's gonna be tricky, but if players learn to work together, we can take down this foe once and for all, and we can have a rare chance to gain rare items from the loot crates that we get from defeating the boss, as well as rare boss drops. Yeah, you didn't think about that. Completing quests, saving castaways, going diving, defeating sea monsters, being in the Agora can gain players their Renown or Bounty. Renown and Bounty can either be decided at the very start of the game, or it can be decided when you start to kill Lord Elias, or when you choose to kill Lord Elias or not. You can no longer join the Grand Navy, but you can instead trade with the Grand Navy. Think of it like the Starscape factions. If you do enough good for them, they're going to give you unique things. This technically makes sense for the story because the player is a mercenary, so instead of joining the Grand Navy, they could help the Grand Navy. Instead of joining the Syndicate, they can help the Syndicate, and they can gain unique faction-based items based off of purchasing from these NPCs, where the purchases are unlocked through acquiring enough fame or bounty. With the addition, of course, hiring certain deckhands and crews to also be able to help you. You help the Grand Navy will help you. Do you want to be a good player, but you also want to have Commodore Kai Saber? Well, it's going to be for sale if you have acquired at least 50,000 fame for at least 5,000 gravitities or whatnot. You like the Sanguine Daggers? You like Architect Merlot's Mask? You can buy it off the Assassin Syndicate once you've acquired 100,000 bounty, where these two factions sell enough titles once a player has acquired enough bounty, and this bounty, this fame, cannot be taken away from said player. Therefore, if a player ends up using hacks to get themselves an unlimited amount of fame, it does not matter because it cannot spread. And what about old-fashioned PvP? What about a hunter mode button, which allows you to be bounty hunted? You cannot lose your Renown through this, but both players can gain Renown from participating, and the victor of the fight can gain a lot more Renown. And what if players take advantage of this to farm the Renown? It's called natural progress. If a player just gets themselves 1,000,000 Renown immediately, that's going to take away the fun in the game. And all of a sudden, the game isn't fun anymore. Once you've reached a certain amount of Renown, your character gets new titles, which allows them to flex their said Renown, which lets players also be able to buy Navy titles and Navy gear and Navy outfits from certain Silverhold points throughout the War Seas and whatnot. This is a graph I drew during editing to showcase this pitch. I think it is a very good pitch. This reduces the likelihood of players getting completely butt-raped by more professional players, but it completely annihilates low-level killing. It completely annihilates witch hunting, partially. And to let people come back, there's a seasons concept. Or perhaps not a season's concept. Maybe that's just bad gaming development. There's no need to pay, no need for the season or anything. But you know, it's a fun game it's a fun way to have players actually play their game. Oh, you know, you get unique weapon skins, unique hats and pants and shirts. Without the stats, but rather for the looks. You have no idea how mad gamers get over virtual accessories. See what they mean? They want accessories. Now, what about the competitive nature of how this game works? And I have a solution for that. I call it Elysium. Instead of making it a complete battleground which lets Arcane Odyssey players completely fight against each other, or have it be that, the average PvP match consists of multiple different game modes. Team deathmatch, all for all, points and whatnot, capture the flag. Not very good with Arcane Odyssey, but you understand what I mean. Here is the competitive pitch that I pitched. I think it is also a very good pitch. Read the text. I can't think. So there is some form of competition to the game. What about certain unique cops and robbers event where good Renown players have to fight the bad Renown players? Attention all bad guys. You gotta help us with this, because we gotta give you like a crap ton of things. I haven't looked into it, but Dragon Raids, a perfect concept. Yes, players can group up, they can fight a difficult PvE dragon, and they can get unique rewards, as well as infamy, because who wouldn't respect somebody who kills a dragon? Alright, I can see the game is trying to add a lot more PvE concepts. They have the Dark Sea, a completely new game mode. They have now clan castle building, hopefully, which also can be beneficial if you want to play the game enjoyably. I will not be talking about clan Renown because I don't think it's that big of a different or a concept, but clans should definitely be treated like Clash of clans and not like the Renown game co-op edition. That can help Arcane Odyssey seem less like power fantasy trash and more like an actual RPG game that you would want to play. It doesn't have these city on top concepts. The only reason why the game is toxic is because it has concepts that attract toxic people to the game. And these players aren't toxic, they're just frustrated. The way the game is designed currently causes the community to expect something from the lead developer, which does not help the lead developer whatsoever because the lead developer is fucking depressed. Did not mean to make this personal and introduce a bunch of development into this whole scenario. I just wanted to pitch my own ideas on how to solve Arcane Odyssey's toxicity problem.